Mano pubbang gama dhamma mano settha mano maya manasace paduddhena bhasativa karotiva tato nang dukkhaman veti cakkang vahato padang Mano pubbang gama dhamma mano settha mano maya manasace pasannena bhasativa karotiva tato nang sukhaman veti chayava anapayini Akkochimang avadhimang ajinimang ahasime yetang upanaihanti verang te sanna sangati Akkochimang avadhimang ajinimang ahasime Yetang na upanaihanti verang te supasammati Nahi verena verani sammangti dhakudachanam Averena ca sammangti esa dhammo sanantano Pare jananti maya metta yamamase yecha tattha vijananti tato sammanti medhaga subhanupassin viharantang indriyesu asamutang Bhojanam hi amattanyum kusena viriyam tangve pasahati maro vato rukkhaṃ dubbalam asubhanupassin viharantang indriyesu susamutang Bhojanam hica mattanyum saddhang aradha viriyam tangve nappasahati maro vato selang pabbataṃ anikkhasavo kāsāvaṃ yo atthaṃ paridahissati Apeto dhamma saccena nasukha sava marhati yo
There's no sound, Mataji.
No sound.
Gaccanti Miccha Sankappa Gochara Sarancha Sarato Nyatva Asarancha Sarato Te Sarang Adhigaccanti Samma Sankappa Gochara Yathagarang ducchangnang Vuddhe samati vijjati Evam abhavitam cittang Rago samati vijjati Yathagarang succhangnang Vuddhena samati vijjati evaṃ subhāvitaṃ cittaṃ rāgo na samati vijjhati idha socati pecca socati pāpakārī ubhayatha socati so socati so vihaññati disvā kamma kiliṭṭha mattano idha modati pecca modati kata puñño bhayatha modati so modati so pamodati disvā kamma visuddha mattano idha tappati pecca tappati pāpakārī bhayatha tappati pāpaṃ me kathaṃ ti tappati bhiyo tappati duggatiṃ gato idha nandati pecca nandati kata puñño bhayatha nandati puññaṃ me kathaṃ ti nandati bhiyo nandati suggatiṃ gato Bahum pice sahitaṃ bhāsamāno natakaro hoti naro pamatto gopo gāvo ganayaṃ paresaṃ na bhagavā
And to
sāmaññassa
begin,
appaṃ pice sahitaṃ bhāsamāno
Vandami Bhante. Bhante, are you listening me? My voice is audible for you all. Can you hear me? Vandami Bhante. Bhante, may I now request Bhante, Venerable Bhante Sumita, to close the means you should transfer the merits for all of us. I request you on behalf of all of us.
आप सबका मंगल हो आप सबको आयु आरोग्य सुख बल प्राप्त हो जैसे पूर्णिमा के चंद्रमा समान आप सबकी अच्छी आकांक्षाएं इच्छाएं पूर्ण हो साधु 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 hello everyone, welcome to our fundamentals of Buddhism course, day number 6, and so today, starting with the program, we would like to invite all of you to observe the 5 precepts. Please say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times to observe the 5 precepts. Say Namo Tassa 3 times.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi.
Dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Duteyam pe buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyam pe buddham saranam gacchāmi.
Duteyam pe dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyam pe dhammam saranam gacchāmi.
Duteyam pe sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyam pe sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tathayampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Tathayampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tathayampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Saranaгаmanang sampunnang.
Am bhalte.
Pānātipātā vīramani sikkhapadang samādhiyāmi.
Pāṇāti-pātā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Abhinādāna vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Atinna-dāna veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Kāmesu miccāchārā vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Kāmesu miccāchāra veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Musāvādā vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Vāmeraya majjapamādātthānā vīramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi.
Surameraya majjapamādāṭṭhāna veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi.
Tisaranena saddhiṃ pañcasīlaṃ dhammam sādhukaṃ surakkhitam kattvā appamādena sampādē tappam.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Jay, will you be leading us in meditation first?
Okay. All right, so let us do a simple meditation for 10 minutes. Okay, please right. Settle on your seats. Sit comfortably. Keep one palm on the other and rest them on your lap. Straighten your back and straighten your head. Gently and compassionately close your eyes. And take a good long deep breath and hold it for a few seconds. And then slowly release and relax. Let's do it together. Now let us focus on our breath, the incoming breath and the outgoing breath. Observe the incoming breath touching the nostril before entering the body. Observe the outgoing breath touching the upper lip before leaving the body. So we will be in between, our mindfulness will be in between these two entry and exit points. While naturally breathing, we observe, we identify, we recognize the breathing. Every single breath. Just observe it, do not try to control. Sometimes the breathing can be longer, so just recognize it. Sometimes the breathing can be shorter, just recognize it. Do not move your posture. Try to stay calm and relax. The entire body and the mind relax while focusing full attention to the breathing process. Try to recognize the sensation when you breathe in. How do you feel the nostril area? When the incoming breath touches the nostril, how do you feel? When the outgoing breath touches the upper lip, how do you feel? Just try to recognize, identify, stay focused. Also remember, when you close your eyes, you will hear many sounds, even subtle sounds. That's okay. That's very natural. If you hear something, just recognize it and come back to meditation. Our priority is breathing, attention to breathing, mindfulness to breathing. When we breathe in, we feel the oxygen coming in and we feel little bit of cooling sensation. When we breathe out, we we have the carbon dioxide. So the outgoing breath is a little bit of warm. Let's pay attention to that as well. Feel that sensation. Even these few minutes can be very helpful if you pay enough attention to this process. Even your mind can be wandering away. That is also natural. What is important is you recognize it, that your mind is wandering away, and then gently come back to meditation. Okay, 2 more minutes. Let us pay 100% attention to our breathing. Recognize the breathing. Recognize the sensation. Pay attention to every single breath, both incoming and outgoing. Ten seconds. Rub our palms with mindfulness. Focus on the movements of the palms and also feel the sensation. When you feel the warmth in your palms, you can place them on your eyes. Take a good long deep breath. Then slowly release and relax. Keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Okay, thank you.
Bandaji, for the guided meditation. Dear meritorious participants, we are now going to start today's lecture, and the topic is the Noble Eightfold Path. Earlier, we have done the Four Noble Truths, and today we shall start the second part, part 2 of the central conception of Buddhism, which is the Noble Eightfold Path. So the Eightfold Path consists of all these factors, all these points. This is what we should do in life. और ये सब चीजें right हैं, सही हैं, जैसे कि right view, right intentions, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right concentration, right mindfulness. The Noble Eightfold Path जो भगवान बुद्ध ने दिखाया था, according to him, it is the way to the end of suffering. The Buddha's teachings center around two basic principles. One is the Four Noble Truths, in which the Buddha diagnoses the problem of suffering and indicates the treatment necessary to remedy this problem. तो भगवान बुद्ध एक डॉक्टर की तरह हैं जिन्होंने सफरिंग को एक डिजीज और प्रॉब्लम समझा और उसकी रेमेडी बताई. The other is the Noble Eightfold Path, the practical discipline he prescribes to uproot and eliminate the deep underlying causes of suffering. और इन दोनों central conceptions के कारण ही बुद्धिज्म को एक बहुत ही realistic, scientific और practical religion समझा जाता है. ये एक practical discipline है. ये सिर्फ theory की बात नहीं है. इसे implement करना होता है, अपने जीवन में उतारना होता है. जो एक्सप्लेनेशन भगवान बुद्ध ने दी है वही हमने इस पीपीटी में इस्तेमाल की है. इस कोर्स में हम प्रयोग कर रहे हैं. It is based solidly upon the Buddha's own words. Each factor of the path will be examined to determine exactly what it implies in the way of practical training. आप बुद्धिज्म के कोई भी कोर्स करिए, कोई भी वीडियो देखिए, हमेशा यही लैंग्वेज प्रयोग की जाती है. प्रैक्टिकल डिसिप्लिन, practical training, training of the mind, defilements to remove karna. Finally, in the conclusion, we will show how all 8 factors of the path function in unison. Unison means all together, एक साथ, to bring about the realization of the Buddhist goal. और Buddhist goal है enlightenment and liberation. So the 4 noble truths are the central foundation of Buddhism. 1. Suffering is the unavoidable accompaniment of physical existence. यहाँ तक कहा है कि all life is suffering. 2. All suffering is caused by desire. 3. All personal desire, all ambition must be extinguished by the person who wishes freedom from suffering, and it can all be extinguished by walking the path. 4. The path which leads to freedom from suffering is a narrow path. भगवान बुद्ध ने कहा है, do not be self-confident about your spiritual progress unless you have reached to the very extinction of all desire. So the 4 noble truths, a quick review हो जाए. दुख arya satya, the noble truth of suffering. दुख samudaya arya satya, the arising or origin of dukha. Dukha nirodha arya satya, the cessation of dukha. Dukha nirodha gamini patipada arya satya, the way leading to the cessation of dukha. The essence of the Buddha's teachings can be summed up in these 2 principles. The 4 noble truths cover the side of doctrine requiring understanding. The Noble Eightfold Path covers the side of discipline requiring practice. In the structure of the teaching, these 2 principles lock together. ये दोनों एक दूसरे से इंटररिलेटेड हैं, इतने क्लोजली कि हम कहते हैं कि दोनों ताले की तरह बंधे हुए हैं into an indivisible unity called the Dhamma Vinay. तो पूरा बौद्ध धर्म इन्हीं 2 सिद्धांतों पर आधारित है. This is the essence of Buddhism and the path to Nibbana. The Dhamma Vinay. Let us see ये क्या है. In brief, Dhamma Vinay ही धम्म है. जब हम बुद्ध धम्म या धम्म की बात करते हैं तो हम इस धम्म विनय की ही बात कर रहे हैं. The internal unity of the Dhamma is guaranteed by the fact कि जो last है 4 noble truths का जो last है, the truth of the way is the Noble Eightfold Path. जबकि Noble Eightfold Path का जो first factor है right view means the understanding of the 4 noble truths. तो दोनों एक दूसरे से संबंधित हैं, दोनों एक दूसरे में पाए जाते हैं. They are found in each other. Thus, the 2 principles penetrate and include one another. इसीलिए बौद्ध धर्म के लिए कहा जाता है, it is good in the beginning, it is good in the middle, and it is good in the end. There is no contradiction in the teachings of the Buddha. The doctrine or the path, दोनों में से क्या superior है? Of the 2 aspects of the Dhamma, the path has greater value. केवल किताबें पढ़ लेने से धम्म को जान लेना पर्याप्त नहीं होता. It is not sufficient. अपनी बुराइयों को दूर करने के लिए, अपने जीवन को सुधारने के लिए, निब्बान प्राप्त करने के लिए, we have to work on this path. So the path claims primacy because it is precisely this that brings the teaching to life. जब हम सुख पढ़ते हैं, कोई भी बौद्ध धर्म की पुस्तक पढ़ते हैं, अभिधम्म पढ़ते हैं, तो ये सब टीचिंग्स अपने जीवन में उतारनी होती हैं, तभी हम सक्सेसफुल बुद्धिस्ट बन सकते हैं. The path translates the Dhamma from a collection of abstract formulas into a continually unfolding disclosure of truth. It gives an outlet from the problem of suffering with which the teaching starts, and it makes the teaching's goal, liberation from suffering, accessible to us in our own experience, where alone it takes on authentic meaning. तो बुद्धिस्ट होने का मतलब क्या है? बौद्ध धर्म को हम कैसे अपनाएं? इसको कैसे फॉलो करें? तो इसका आंसर है the Noble Eightfold Path. The foundations of Buddhism are the Four Noble Truths, namely suffering, the raison d'etre of Buddhism, its cause, that is craving, its end, that is Nibbana. और Nibbana को कहा गया है the summum bonum of Buddhism and the middle way. So summum bonum means the supreme good in which all moral values are included or from which they are derived. तो Buddhism का purpose, उसका goal यही है, Nibbana, suffering से छुटकारा. एक तो इस जीवन की जो जीवन हम जी रहे हैं इसकी सफरिंग से छुटकारा मिल जाए, और दूसरा ये जो बार बार रीबर्थ होता है, बार बार इस जीवन में आते हैं, इस जाल में फंसते हैं, इससे छुटकारा मिल जाए. और इसके लिए भगवान बुद्ध ने जो रास्ता दिखाया है उसको मिडिल वे भी कहा जाता है. What is the noble truth of suffering? Birth is suffering, old age is suffering, disease is suffering, death is suffering, to be united with the unpleasant is suffering, to be separated from the pleasant is suffering, not to receive what one craves for is suffering. In brief, the five aggregates of attachment are suffering. तो जब तक हम सांस ले रहे हैं, जब तक हमारा जीवन है, तब तक सफरिंग है. What is the noble truth of the cause of suffering? It is the craving, tanha, which leads from rebirth to rebirth, accompanied by lust or passion, which delights now here, now there. कभी ये चाहिए, कभी वो चाहिए. It is a craving for sensual pleasures, जिसको कहते हैं काम तन्हा, for existence, bhava tanha, and for annihilation, vibhava tanha. तो ये तीन types of craving या तीन types of tanha हैं. What is the noble truth of the annihilation of suffering? It is the remainderless, total annihilation of this very craving, the forsaking of it, the breaking loose, fleeing, deliverance from it. अगर थोड़ी सी भी डिफाइलमेंट, करप्शन, इम्प्योरिटी हमारे अंदर रह गई तो कभी ना कभी वो फूट जाएगी. और अगर ये कोई अकुशल काम है तो बौद्ध धर्म में ये माना जाता है कि कर्म कभी भी क्षय नहीं होता, कभी भी अपने आप समाप्त नहीं होता है. उसको काउंटर करने के लिए हमें कुशल कर्म करना पड़ता है. What is the noble truth of the path leading to the annihilation of suffering? It is the noble eightfold path, which consists of right understanding, right thoughts, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right endeavor, right mindfulness, and right concentration. तो ये रास्ता, ये मार्ग भगवान बुद्ध ने दिखाया है, जिस पर हमें जीवन भर चलना चाहिए और कोशिश करते रहना चाहिए कि हम इस पे चल सकें. Scientifically interpreted, the Dhamma may be called the law of cause and effect. These two embrace the entire body of the Buddha's teachings. तो हमें किसी देवी देवता को प्रसन्न करने या प्लीज करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. हम जैसा कम करेंगे वैसा ही भोगेंगे. तो यही है law of cause and effect. The first three truths represent the philosophy of Buddhism. The fourth represents the ethics of Buddhism. क्या सही है, क्या गलत है, based on that philosophy. All these four truths are dependent on this body itself. The Buddha states, in this very 1 fathom long body, along with perceptions and thoughts, do I proclaim the world, the origin of the world, the end of the world, and the path leading to the end of the world. ये बहुत सिंपल बात है, लेकिन इसको समझने के लिए कई सूत्र पढ़ने पड़ेंगे, अभिधम तक पढ़ना पड़ेगा, तब आप इसकी गहराई तक पहुंचेंगे। इसको सिंपल तरीके से ये समझ सकते हैं कि हमारी जो बॉडी है यही हमारा जीवन, कोई देवी देवता नहीं है जिसके कारण बौद्ध धर्म हमें मिला है या हमें बुद्धिस्ट का जीवन हमें मिला है। यही ओरिजिन है, यही एंड है, और अब इसी बॉडी से, इसी शरीर, इसी जीवन से हमें अपना जीवन जीना है। दिस इज द पाथ लीडिंग टू द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। So the Buddha's eightfold path can be diagrammatically represented as this. Right understanding is samma ditti. Right means samma, जो सही है, जो गलत है। Right thought, samma sankalp. Right speech, samma vacha. Right action, samma kammantam. Right livelihood, samma ajiva. Right effort, samma vayama. Right mindfulness, samma sati. Right concentration, samma samadhi. So this is the way to end the book. We have to follow the Noble Eightfold Path, or the Bhagavad. Wisdom, morality, and meditation. ये तीन important factors हैं. The four noble truths. In Pali, we call them Chattari Arya Satchani. The four Arya Sattas. The truths are dukh, suffering. अब देखिए step by step हम लोग ज़्यादा detail में जाते जा रहे हैं. The truths are dukh, suffering, incapable of satisfying, painful. ये definition है दुख की. It is an innate characteristic of existence in the realm of संसार. संसार में जब तक हम exist कर रहे हैं, तब तक हर वस्तु, हर सांस में दुख और suffering ही है. Samudaya, which means origin or arising of this dukh, which arises or comes together with tanha, craving, desire or attachment. Nirodh, which means cessation or ending of this dukkha, can be attained by the renouncement or letting go of this tanha. Magga is the path, the Noble Eightfold Path. This is the path leading to renouncement of tanha and cessation of dukkha. Let us now start studying the Buddha's ancient path, which is also known as Purana Magga. The Noble Eightfold Path is the way to Nibbana or enlightenment. It is the way to end all suffering. Arya Athangik Magga. इसको Noble Path कहते हैं. It is the way to the end of suffering. Majjhima Patipadapi कहते हैं, middle path. विशुद्धि मार्ग में इसे path of purification भी कहा गया है. विमुक्ति मार्ग भी कहते हैं इसे, path to liberation and freedom. The path leading to the cessation of dukkha. By all these epithets, by all these adjectives, this Noble Eightfold Path is known. This is the middle path which the perfect one has found out, which gives rise to vision. हम clearly अपने जीवन को, दूसरे के जीवन को समझ सकते हैं, देख सकते हैं, which gives rise to knowledge, which leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to nirvana. अगर आपने धम्मचक्र प्रवर्तन सूत्र की इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ी है, तो आपको ये सारे वर्ड्स और फ्रेजेस बहुत familiar लगेंगे. Without the path, the Dhamma would just be a shell, a collection of doctrines without inner life. Without the path, even full deliverance from suffering would become a mere dream. So भगवान बुद्ध ने सिर्फ बातें नहीं बताई हैं, उनको अपने जीवन में उतारना कैसे है, उसको मार्ग दिखाया है और उस मार्ग के 8 फैक्टर्स भी बताए हैं. Of all the paths, the Noble Eightfold Path is the best. The first discourse of the Buddha is the Dhammacakka Pravartana Sutta. इसमें इसके विषय में बताया गया है, धम्मपद में बताया गया है, मग्ग वर्ग और बुद्ध वर्ग में. इसके अतिरिक्त सुबद्ध सुत्त में भी इसका विवरण, इसकी डिस्क्रिप्शन मिलती है. It contains the Buddha's last verse to Subhadra, a wandering ascetic, the last to become an arahant in his lifetime, and in whose name this sutta is canonized. So Subhadra के नाम पे सुबद्ध सुत्त है, उसमें भी Noble Eightfold Path की डिस्क्रिप्शन मिलती है. This path is the middle way. It is made up of 8 factors. when it is called the Eightfold Path, तो ये जो 8 factors of the path है, they are not 8 steps to be followed in sequence. Actual practice में certain factors पहले develop कर सकते हैं और दूसरे factors बाद में arise करते हैं. लेकिन ideally each factor should be developed, चाहे वो पहले हो चाहे वो बाद में. The early factors should remain and the new ones should arise, and they should merge into the early ones and absorb them. इससे रिजल्ट ये होगा कि हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ डेवलपमेंट जब बात की होगी तो इट विल कंसिस्ट ऑफ द 8 फैक्टर्स वर्किंग साइमल्टेनियसली. तो 8 फैक्टर्स में से आप कोई भी एक चूज कर लीजिए डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द सिचुएशंस इन योर लाइफ, और उसको आप पहले डेवलप कर सकते हैं. At this level, all 8 factors are present. All are performing their functions and contributing in their own unique way to accomplishment of the goal, to reaching the end of suffering. Arya Athangic मत के विषय में कहा गया है, the Buddha made this path known to the world. This is his unique achievement, the 4 noble truths and the noble eightfold path. From one angle, the discovery of the noble eightfold path might be called the primary significance of the Buddha's enlightenment. Buddha's enlightenment. The last few days, this is what we have celebrated. This is the Bodhi tree at Bodhgaya where he sat. The Noble Eightfold Path के जो factors हैं, उनको 3 broad divisions में divide किया जाता है: wisdom, morality, and concentration. Wisdom consists of right view and right thought. The morality khand consists of right speech, right action, and right livelihood. The concentration group consists of right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Wisdom is panya khand, right view, right intention. Morality is seal khand, right speech, right action, right livelihood. Concentration is samadhi khand, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. Let us begin a factorial analysis of the Noble Eightfold Path. Sammaditthi, right view. Samma Sankalp, right intention. Samma Vacha, right speech. Samma Kaman, right action. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Samma Vayama, right effort. Samma Sati, right mindfulness. Samma Samadhi, right concentration. The first factor that we shall study is Sammaditthi, right view. Sammaditthi or right view consists of Dukkha Jnana, understanding suffering. Dukkha Samudaya Jnana, understanding its origin. Dukkha Nirodha Jnana, understanding its cessation. Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Patipadaya Jnana, understanding the way leading towards cessation. कोई भी प्रॉब्लम अगर जीवन में आए तो इस तरीके से उस प्रॉब्लम को एनालाइज करना चाहिए, उसे ब्रेकअप करना चाहिए. Right understanding is therefore the beginning as well as the culmination of the Noble Eightfold. जब तक हमारी व्यू, हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी, तब तक हम समझ नहीं पाएंगे कि क्या करें. Right view is the forerunner of the entire path, the guide for all other factors. Training in wisdom, climax of the path opposed to ignorance. So बौद्ध धर्म के लिए wisdom is at the apex. It is the climax of the path, and it is designed to awaken the faculty of penetrative understanding, which sees things as they really are. Yatha bhutam jnana, as they really are. The importance of right view can be gauged and understood from the fact कि हमारे जो perspectives होते हैं on crucial issues of reality and value, उनकी bearing होती है, उनका प्रभाव पड़ता है that goes beyond mere theoretical convictions. सिर्फ हमारी बातों पर ही नहीं, हमारे पूरे जीवन शैली, हमारे लाइफस्टाइल पर उसका influence पड़ता है. They govern our attitudes, our actions, our whole orientation to existence. They structure our perceptions, order our values, crystallize into the ideational framework through which we interpret to ourselves the meaning of our being in the world. तो हम क्या समझते हैं जीवन को प्रॉब्लम आ जाए तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए? तो सबसे पहले तो हमारे अंदर की जो वैल्यूज और थॉट्स हैं वो सही होनी चाहिए, राइट व्यू होनी चाहिए कि कोई देवी देवता प्रकट नहीं होने वाला है. We have to solve our own problems. These views, they lie behind our choices and goals and our efforts to turn these goals from ideals into actuality. There are two kinds of right view: Lokiya Sammaditi, mundane right view; Kamma Sakkata Sammaditi, right view of the ownership of action. अब कर्म की थ्योरी बुद्धिज्म की बहुत फेमस है और यहाँ से उसकी थोड़ी सी इंट्रोडक्शन स्टार्ट होती है. The Buddha has said, beings are the owners of their actions, the heirs of their actions. They spring from their actions, are bound to their actions, and are supported by their actions. Whatever deeds they do, good or bad, of those they shall be heirs. हम अपने कर्म से कभी भाग नहीं सकते, हम उसके ओनर्स हैं. लोकीय समाधिति, कर्म means volitional action, जो जानबूझ के किया जाए, intention के साथ. These are deeds expressive of morally determinate volition, since it is volition that gives the action ethical significance. भगवान बुद्ध ने ये भी कहा है, monks, it is volition that I call action or karma. Having built, one performs an action through body, speech, or mind, kaya, vacha, and mano. Karma is distinguished as unwholesome, जिसको हम अकुशल कहते हैं, and wholesome और कुशल. Unwholesome कर्म है जैसे bodily action, kaya कर्म, destroying life, taking what is not given, wrong conduct in regard to sense pleasures. तो आपने नोट किया होगा कि पंचशील में भी यही सब बातें हैं. This is why पंचशील is very important, and we should repeat those 5 vows as frequently as possible. Verbal action यानी वची कर्म, इसमें आता है false speech, slanderous speech, harsh speech, idle chatter. फालतू की बातों में समय बर्बाद नहीं करना चाहिए, not even with close friends. Mental action, मनोकर्म, covetousness, दूसरे की वस्तु को चाहना, ill will and wrong. Wholesome कर्म आता है opposites of the form. Abstaining from the first 7 forces of unwholesome कर्म, तो जितनी भी बुरी बातें हैं उन सब से बच के रहना. Being free from covetousness and ill will, and holding right view. Right view always means accepting the 4 noble truths. Basis of underlying motives जो है हमारे, हम किस कारण से, किस रीजन से कोई भी काम करते हैं, उसके पीछे मोटिव क्या है. साइकोलॉजी में जिस सेंस में मोटिव शब्द यूज किया जाता है, सेम यूजेज यहाँ भी है. They are called roots or motive, which impart their moral quality. Unwholesome roots are the 3 defilements: greed, lobha; aversion, dosa; and delusion, moha. Wholesome roots are the opposites: non-greed, alobha; non-aversion, adosa; and non-delusion, amoha. Not merely the absence of defilements, but the corresponding virtues are stressed in Buddhism. कि हमें actively कुशल काम करना चाहिए. सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि विरति हो, कि हम बुरे काम ना करें, बल्कि अच्छे काम भी करने हैं. An immanent mental act, universal law of karma, produces results corresponding to the ethical quality of the action. जिस कारण से काम किया जाता है, जो volition है, वो important है, और वही decide करती है कि हमारी action ethical है कि नहीं है. These are called vipaka, which means ripenings, or phala, which means fruits. दूसरा है लोकोत्तर समाधिति. पहले तो हमने लोकीय समाधिति देखी, दूसरी है लोकोत्तर समाधिति, superior right view. It is leading to liberation. It is understanding of the 4 noble truths, and this noble right view is the first factor. Now we come to the second factor, Samma Sankalpa, right intention. Factorial analysis में हम देखते हैं, Samma Sankalpa consists of Nekhamma Sankalpa, intention of renunciation; Abhyabad Sankalpa, intention of goodwill, avihimsa sankalp, intention of harmlessness, कि हमसे दूसरे का नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए। अगर हम किसी का भला नहीं कर सकते, किसी की सहायता नहीं कर सकते, तो कम से कम दूसरे को नुकसान ना पहुंचाएं। Understanding the four truths in relation to one's own life, this gives rise to the intention of renunciation. जब हम ये जान लेते हैं कि कोई प्रकट नहीं होगा, कोई दर्शन नहीं देगा हमारी सहायता के लिए, हमें स्वयं अपना जीवन जीना है, तो बुरी बातें, लालच, फालतू की चीजें हम स्वयं ही छोड़ना शुरू कर देते हैं, यानी कि रेनंसिएशन स्टार्ट हो जाती है। दूसरी बात है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग देम इन रिलेशन टू अदर बीइंग्स गिव्स राइज टू द अदर टू राइट इंटेंशन। सिर्फ अपने लिए इंटेंशन सही नहीं होनी चाहिए, दूसरे के लिए भी इंटेंशन सही होनी चाहिए। When we see how our own lives are pervaded by dukkha, and we also see that this dukkha derives from craving, then the mind inclines to renunciation. तब हम सोचने लगते हैं कि why don't we abandon craving? Why don't we abandon the objects to which it binds us? So we should let go attachment or give up attachment to whatever is harmful or useless. Then when we apply the truths in an analogous way, यानी कि comparison करके correspondingly जब हम उसको apply करते हैं दूसरे living beings पर, the contemplation nurtures the growth of goodwill and harmlessness. सिर्फ अपना भला ही नहीं चाहते, सबसे पहले तो अपना भला ही करना होगा. This is what Buddhism teaches us, and we should also try to do good to others. We see that like ourselves, all other living beings want to be happy, and again that like ourselves, they are also subject to suffering. The consideration that all beings seek happiness, जब ये हमारे अंदर आ जाती है, then this gives rise to thoughts of goodwill, the loving wish that they should be well, happy, and peaceful. These are the words of the Metta Sutta. So those who are a little familiar with Buddhism will recognize this language. The consideration that beings are exposed to suffering causes thoughts of harmlessness to arise. तो ये एक compassionate wish है that they should be free from suffering. अब ये सिर्फ noble eightfold path, उसके factors को जानना और उसका further breakup जानना ही काफी नहीं है. धर्मगुरु दलाई लामा कई घंटे प्रवचन देते हैं compassion के ऊपर, how to be free from suffering, बोधि चित्त और बोधि सत्व attitude के ऊपर. तो देखिए एक एक वर्ड बौद्ध धर्म का बहुत गहराई से समझने योग्य है. Strong attachment brings suffering and little attachment brings little suffering. और अगर no attachment है, then there will be no suffering. So let's see these three famous words: nekhamma, metta, and karuna. They are the opposite of greed. लालच की जगह नेकम्मा या रेनंसिएशन होनी चाहिए. हेट्रेड, नफरत के स्थान पर मेत्ता या लविंग काइंडनेस होनी चाहिए. और इग्नोरेंस, कटिंग ऑफ द रूट्स ऑफ दुख, और हमेशा दूसरों के लिए कुछ ना, अपने लिए कुछ ना कुछ चाहना, दूसरों की परवाह ना करना, इसकी जगह करुणा होनी चाहिए, दूसरे के साथ सिंपैथी. The intention of renunciation, ये क्या है? नेकम्मा संकल्प. The Buddha does not demand that everyone leave the household's life. गृहस्थ जीवन छोड़ने के लिए नहीं कहती. बौद्ध धर्म broadly divided, इसके जो followers हैं, they are divided into two: the sangha, consisting of the bhikkhus and the bhikkhunis, and the laymen, जो साधारण उपासकस और उपासिकास हैं, जैसे मैं और आप में से हैं, for the monastery, और ask his followers to discard all sense enjoyments on the spot. ये भी नहीं कहते कि सेंसुअल प्लेजर्स को छोड़ दीजिए, लाइफ को एंजॉय ना कीजिए और नेगेटिव और पेसिमिस्टिक बने रहिए. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है बौद्ध धर्म में. The degree to which a person renounces depends on his or her disposition and situation. तो ये हर एक व्यक्ति को, इंडिविजुअल को स्वयं इसका डिसीजन लेना होता है. This is why Buddhism is called the middle path, Majjhima Patipada. Attachments are shed like the leaves of a tree, naturally and spontaneously. The changes do not come suddenly, but when there is persistent practice. Meditation की practice, बौद्ध धर्म के principles की practice, सुधास को पढ़ना, उनको उनके ऊपर reflect करना, उनको अपने जीवन में उतारना. तो जब persistent practice होती है बुद्धिज्म की, there is no doubt that this will happen. जैसे एक पेड़ की पत्तियां गिर जाती हैं, उसी तरीके से ये फालतू की attachments भी गिर जाती हैं. The intention of goodwill, जिसको कहते हैं अव्यापाद संकल्प. It opposes the intention of ill will, which are thoughts governed by anger and aversion. तो एक approach तो है to yield to it, to express the aversion by bodily or verbal action. It breeds resentment, provokes retaliation, creates enemies, poisons relationships, and generates unwholesome karma. तो अगर ill will है, anger है, aversion है, तो वो तो दिखेगी. भगवान बुद्ध ने ये भी कहा है कि अगर किसी के अंदर क्रोध है, नफरत है, तो वो एक जलते हुए कोयले की तरह है. अब उसको हाथ में लेके हम घूम रहे हैं, वो सबसे पहले तो मेरा अपना हाथ को जलाए. The other approach is repression, कि हम इस ill will की जो thoughts है, इसको हम दबा दें, वो भरने ना दें. Also fails to dispel the destructive force of ill will. It merely turns that force around and pushes it inward. और अंदर जाके it is transformed into self-contempt, chronic depression, or a tendency to irrational outbursts of violence. तो दबाने की बजाय इसको हमेशा के लिए पूरी तरीके से अपने अंदर से निकाल देना चाहिए. और इसकी रेमेडी है मेत्ता, which is translated as the compound loving kindness, an intense feeling of selfless love for other beings, radiating outwards as a heartfelt concern for their well-being and happiness. तो मेत्ता भावना सुख में भी ये दिया है और मेत्ता भावना मेडिटेशन में भी ये बहुत डिटेल में दिया गया है. At its peak, मेत्ता rises to the heights of a ब्रह्म विहार. तो ब्रह्म विहार हम लोग बाद में करेंगे, which is the divine dwelling, a total way of being centered on the radiant wish for the welfare of all living beings. सबका मंगल हो, जैसे गुरुदेव S.N. गोलका जी ने कहा, सबका मंगल हो, wish for the welfare of all living beings. The method of development is Metta Bhavana, the meditation on loving kindness, which is one of the most important kinds of Buddhist meditation. Third is the intention of harmlessness, avihimsa sankalpa. It is thought guided by compassion, that is karuna, aroused in opposition to cruel, aggressive, and violent thoughts. Compassion supplies the complement to loving kindness. One should contemplate all beings as subject to the universal suffering of samsara. हर किसी के जीवन में suffering है. उनको भी greed और aversion का सामना करना पड़ता है, delusion का सामना करना पड़ता है, through the round of repeated birth and death. तो अपनी तरह ही दूसरों को समझ के उनके साथ व्यवहार करना चाहिए. Practice करने को कहा है भगवान ने, practicing again and again, as often as is necessary to reach success. The Buddha gives us his assurance that victory can be achieved. ये सिर्फ खोखली बातें नहीं है. He says that whatever one reflects upon frequently, that will become the inclination of the mind. अगर आप frequently sensual, hostile या harmful thoughts सोचेंगे, desire, ill will और harmfulness हमारी mind की inclination बन जाएगी, habit pattern बन जाता है. इसके बाद है सम्मा वाचा, राइट इंटेंशन, सम्मा कर्मंत, राइट एक्शन, सम्मा आजीव, राइट लाइफ. इन तीनों की ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन में केवल आज दूंगी बिकॉज today's lecture is coming to an end, just a few minutes. ये सील खंड है. These three part factors, right speech, right action, and right livelihood, may be treated together as collectively they make up the first of the three divisions of the path, the division of moral division of moral discipline. Seal khanda. The training has to be taken up under the tutelage. Tutelage matlab teaching pupils individually of the first two factors, right view and right intention. तो हमारा व्यू ये होना चाहिए कि सील बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. हमारी इंटेंशन ये होनी चाहिए कि सील को अपनाना है जीवन में, and to lead beyond to the trainings in concentration and wisdom. हमारी कंसंट्रेशन कितनी अच्छी क्यों ना हो, हम कितने भी समझदार अक्लमंद क्यों ना हो, लेकिन अगर हमारे मॉरल्स ठीक नहीं है तो उसका रिजल्ट हमेशा बुरा ही होगा. एक ना एक दिन हम पकड़े जाएंगे. Speak or act with a corrupted mind, and suffering follows as a wagon wheel follows the hoof of the horse. Speak or act with a peaceful mind, and happiness follows like a never departing chariot. तो ये twin thoughts हैं by the Buddha from the Dhamma verses 1 and 2. अभिधम्म पिटक का नाम आपने definitely सुना होगा. The Abhidhamma equates sila with the mental factors of abstinence, viratya, abstaining from something. हमें ये नहीं करना चाहिए, हमें वो नहीं करना चाहिए, यानी कि हमें एब्सटेन करना चाहिए उन सबसे, तो वो ही सील है. Abstinence from the unwholesome is called avoidance, varit, and commitment to the wholesome is called performance, charit. तो वारित और चारित, ये दो प्रकार से हम अपने जीवन में इन 5 फैक्टर्स को उतार सकते हैं. I think we will stop here today because we have already done quite a bit, और सिर्फ 5 मिनट बचेंगे. May I request Sister Sangamita to close today's program?
Before closing, I would like to say that बुद्ध ने जब आनंद भिक्खु को कहा कि बुद्ध के बाद उनका धम्म ही सबका गुरु है, तो उन्होंने ऐसा कहा, यो वो आनंदमया धम्मो च विनयो च देशितो पयतो सोहो मम चेन सत्था. मतलब हर एक धर्म में देखा कि इनके बाद उनका कोई तो पूर्वज होता है, मतलब पीढ़ी चलती आ रही है. लेकिन भगवान बुद्ध ने कहा कि जो उन्होंने 84 खंड, जो धम्म खंड जो बताया है, वो ही सबका गुरु है. मतलब टीचिंग ऑफ बुद्ध वही सबका गुरु है. त्रिपिटक में जो कहा, जैसे कि पूनम सिस्टर ने समझाया कि त्रिपिटक 3 जो बॉक्सेस होते हैं, पिटक होते हैं, विनय पिटक, सुत्त पिटक और अभिधम्म पिटक. तो ये पूरी पढ़ाई जो है, तो यही अपना टीचर है. एंड to Sister Poonam, so shall we close? I request you. Yes, your voice.
Just a moment. Thank you, dear participants, for joining our course and for joining today's program. We hope to see you next time also. Venerable Bhante Sumit unfortunately had to leave early. Let us chant a few verses together. Bhavatu sabba mangalam, rakhantu sabba devata, sabba buddhanubhavena, sabba dhammanubhavena, sabba sanghanubhavena, sada sothi bhavantu te. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitata. May all beings be well, peaceful, healthy and happy. Goodbye from all of us at Dhamma USA, and we shall see you in 2 days' time. We are closing the meeting now.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, sister, and all of you. Thanks. See you then.